Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Crimsix is back in business. He has been going rogue these last couple of days. Many things to discuss today, diving into the fact that some organisations meant to be getting into the Core Legit League made the good decision to get out while they still can, but also the embarrassing third game mode the pros are meant to be playing it for this upcoming season of Vanguard. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Top this channel reach new people, and please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from Halo Gamepedia, Halo Esports Wiki. Just, I thought this was kind of nice, to be honest. Like, if you log into Halo Infinite right now, you'll see on one of the things that comes up in the news, congratulations Cloud9 at winning the HCS Rally event. I think this maybe has happened a couple of times in Call of Duty, and to be fair, there is some things in the game right now in the CDL side where you can actually see the standings of the league. They did this last year as well. They've ported it over from Modern Warfare, or maybe it wasn't in Modern Warfare, but it was in Cold War, I think. You could actually see the results of the CDL matches inside the game client itself, which is pretty cool. But of course, it's not quite the level maybe of this, but also it's not quite the level of if you go into Counter-Strike or Valorant or something, you'll actually find the live stream and all the matches right there inside the game client itself. So still a long way to go, I think, on the Call of Duty side. Cool to see Halo's doing this though, and giving the winners of their championships the credit they deserve inside the game itself, which is just a simple thing that makes a big difference, to be honest, in terms of community perception, but also just people stumbling across this and thinking, okay, that might be kind of interesting to keep our eyes on this team and format going forward. So this is what Crimsix has to say on Halo Infinite right now. It's so damn good, it may actually cause me to quit smoking. Just ran ranked play for 4 hours straight with no sig breaks, no urge even to take a break. I don't know how 343 has done it, but I'm getting hit with the dose of nicotine every time I hit right trigger to burst my battle rifle. So, Crimsix having such a good time, he doesn't even feel the need to take a sig break. I guess, well, Call of Duty has really done that to him over these last several years. But he was playing a lot of Halo the last couple of days. He's also been playing a fair bit of Warzone and Vanguard, of course, in the scrims and this type of stuff. And, he had a very few interesting words to say, as we'll look at it in just a couple of minutes' time, on many different topics, frankly, that, we definitely have to dive into. Firstly, I do think this was kind of interesting, at least the reply here from Lethal, because Lethal on Sentinels right now goes on to say, it just made me slap 3 nicotine patches on my arms and order a lifetime supply of Newports. What game are you playing around here, right? So I guess Lethal, and the general opinion really of the Halo community, I think generally is, okay, Halo Infinite's a really solid game. It's not maybe as good as Halo 2, Halo 3, maybe some of the classic titles, but it's pretty damn good. But Lethal says, look, it's a solid game, but the Call of Duty community is of the opinion that, like, wow, okay, compared to Vanguard, compared to the Call of Duty games that have been delivered the last couple of years, Halo Infinite is basically a masterpiece, right? That's what Grim says. You are blessed to play this masterpiece compared to what we have to play. And as Lethal says, it's not too bad. Like, it's not too bad, but it's not exactly a great game. The fact you're calling it a masterpiece just tells me all I need to know about how bad the new Call of Duty game is. I won't even give the respect of using its name. So, that's kind of the way the opinions of the communities are looking at these games at the present time, and who can really blame them, right? Which is kind of interesting to hear, like, the differences of opinions by maybe based on the expectations that some of the players that have, come to expect really these last couple of years. So, as you can see, Crim playing a fair bit of Halo, but there was some really interesting stuff that came out from his stream last night. So a few different topics we want to dive into. First of all, we're going to look at, what he has to say about the organizations that were going to get involved in Call of Duty and decided not to for whatever reason. Because my prediction really was that this 12th spot was going to get brought up by an organization exactly like it was, right? A kind of Overwatch League organization that's already involved in esports, owned by organizations and people that aren't endemic to the scene, whereas the organizations actually are endemic, the likes of Cloud9 and TSM, that Crim's going to talk about here in a second, decided not to buy in. I also heard there was rumors about TSM joining way back in the original season in Modern Warfare, and Crim says the same thing, that TSM were meant to be joining in, so with Cloud9, but they decided not to, and he effectively goes on to say that was because they actually understand the landscape, and they realize, as like kind of endemic esports owners that know what they're doing, that this probably wasn't a good investment. There's also this clip that he kind of said right here about the CDL salesman, and I'll share that for you guys as well. I went back and found it because it's really entertaining. That he's talking about, look, the CDL salesman, he must be the best guy in the entire world at doing his job. He must make insane PowerPoint presentations.
Whoever the salesman is, what is your contact info? Whoever sold these league spots to people, right? You must make the meanest PowerPoints, dude. Oh my god. You have to be the best salesman, like, by far in esports. Maybe in the world, dude. Like, where did you come from? Oh, this man. Bro, I honestly, I don't give a about a lot of this shit, but the one thing that I've thought about a lot was what did they say? What did they say to sell? Like, how do they sell this shit? Dude, and in my eyes, right, it took experienced ass people within esports already to be like, no, this is not a good idea. Cloud9, TSM, because we thought those two were like way back in MW. We thought that those two teams were gonna be in, and there was some interest, but like all of a sudden there's no. So like, dude, it's impressive. It's literally impressive.
So that's the thing, if organisations like Cloud9, TSM, the organisations we would of course love to really have in the league in an ideal world, don't think this is the greatest investment and decided to put out, and who can really blame them right at the present time, it's tough to see where the ROI necessarily is for some of these organisations given the way that money could be used, spent on other organisations, other players, you know, content and stuff like this that might help them out way more than joining something like the Call of Duty League. At the same time though, like the CDL's really going to have to prove its worth over these next couple of years, because if you can be relatively confident, you buy a spot in here for 25 mil, and then in a couple of years time they're going to sell the new spots for 30, 35 mil, and the league's going to grow and expand and keep getting better and better, the support's only going to improve, then you're thinking, okay, well, we're getting a great deal here because our spot, is the value of it is just going to go up over time, even if we don't actually sell the thing at all. So obviously these organizations right now aren't particularly confident in that, especially because you've got orgs like 100 Thieves. They're looking at Halo right now and they're thinking, okay, maybe that is the way to go. Now, there's also some other things to discuss here in regards to the third game mode we are going to be playing. So the CDL announced it's going to be Control. They said it's going to be hardpoint search Control, but most of the pros are like, well, Control isn't really playable. They're still not playing it in practice, and we're only a month out from the first event. So what is the plan here? Like, what is the plan? Like this, of course, Marcy's showing it's still completely broken. It's definitely not playable. So you know, things are going to have to change here. Like other developers actually going to make some moves. I'm pretty sure Crim even said before this clip I'm just about to share for you guys that the developers and other people involved in the league knew that Control wasn't going to work at all. Therefore, they had some sort of vote which was almost passed by apparently the players weren't consulted at all on some other third game mode. And if Control is still broken, then could this third game mode that Crim is talking about in this clip still make a return? That's tough to say, but he goes on to say that this is like an embarrassing thing they're even considering this, and it might well still happen, that is comparable to Prop Hunt, not Patrol, not Control, I imagine not Domination, worse than TDM, and well, could it be Warzone?
The biggest thing that irks me, man, is that we got people making decisions that should not be making decisions and that have no idea what they're doing, talking about. None of that. They have no idea what they're doing. Dude, I don't even want to talk about what we're about to play on the third mode. Dude, we're not supposed to talk about it, but this is so embarrassingly bad that it wasn't Control though. Let's just say it's as extreme as Prop Hunt, and it was almost voted in. Yeah, I would say it's worse than TDM. Yeah. Were the players consulted? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, dude, it wasn't Patrol either. Here, I'll give you guys a hint.
So there was a fair bit of talk about, okay, Patrol, could that be the third game mode? It's kind of like Hardpoint, but it moves around the map effectively, and that was just never going to work with the way the spawns work in this game, to be honest. But still, that apparently is way better than what is being proposed maybe as this third game mode that Crim's getting really frustrated about. Like, the way he says it's comparable to Prop Hunt makes me think it's got to be some sort of Warzone thing. I don't know 100% guaranteed about this, but he obviously gives the hint, right, and then he just goes on to Warzone, and he was playing like Battle Royale duos or something. So, you know, it might be hinting that actually they were considering, and maybe if Control doesn't work, still considering having Warzone somehow being the third game mode for these pro players. Not sure how that would even go, right? Would you do a kill race for a map? I don't really know what the plan would be there. But to me, it sounds like a disaster. Sounds like a step in the direction towards actually just having a straight up Warzone league. But also, like, I don't even know how that makes any sense and even works. So how do you even police that? And maybe why he's saying it's like Prop Hunt is because Prop Hunt, I guess if you had to play that, like, you know, you become an item on the map and you just run around and try and hide, is probably just 50-50 completely random. Now, maybe he's suggesting a similar thing right here. Is there any other game modes it could reasonably be? If he says it's worse than TDM, and like TDM would be completely terrible for competitive, everyone would just camp at the back of their base. There's no reason to do anything, because of course in Halo and stuff in Slayer, you've got the power-ups that you need to play around. Like, that's not the case if you were to play TDM in Call of Duty. So if it's worse than TDM, it's got to be something like Warzone or something what they're considering here. And if Control doesn't work and they can't fix it, like, is that the plan, right? As kind of Crimsix is saying, we're not really meant to talk about this, but still, it might be a possibility. I don't really know what he's thinking here, but definitely intrigued to your perspective on all this stuff in the comment section below. Like, yeah, are we getting a third game mode? Is it going to be Control? The pros still aren't really playing it right now, and maybe Warzone's what they're thinking here, which would be an absolute disaster. And if that would make sense, then well, I could see a world in which Crimsix says that's pretty embarrassing, right? I mean, what is he playing out right here? This guy's a complete menace on the timeline. But you know, also just wanted to look at this, right? Because you know, the Tesseract scene we looked at it a couple of days ago as well, and you know, this comes out from Sunday. God, me looking back in the past, thinking Ghost was an awful year for competitive Call of Duty, and of course, well, as Nameless says, it was actually pretty damn good. The game was actually great. Now, at the end of the day, there might be some rose-tinted glasses going on here because, well, as Joe DeLuca says, that being Merc, it followed Black Ops 2. We played Blitz and Domination. Maps were super average, but at least we were nasty at the game, right? The con was awesome. The game, maybe not so much. The game was, of course, not exactly great compared to Black Ops 2, but honestly, the maps for Search and Destroy I thought were great. The maps for the other game modes, maybe not so much. The fact that there was no hardpoint wasn't ideal, but you know, at the end of the day, Ghost definitely has a good rap looking back on it because of the legendary era that, of course, it inhabited there. And just to finish off, I suppose, with this Melee Thieves, not really sure what they're playing on their TikTok game lately, but I thought this is kind of entertaining, to be honest, with all four of these guys. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting that like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. I just like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.